Hi, this is Excelsior the Lion, filming this after the last little rant. It's such a... Don't want anybody to see my skin. I thought I'd get into what to expect. What, not to expect necessarily, what things have happened when you go fursuiting more towards the solo stuff rather than playing with somebody else. If there was two more furries, then that's another thing altogether, you know, patty cake or so forth. But even solo, there were some neat ideas from the convention. You go up to a window and you go pawing it. Come on, pay attention to me, you know. All that fun stuff. Anyway, but so you go out. Walking down the street, downtown, maybe the mall or something like that. What things would be encountered? You know, what would happen? And it's a little bit of cultural anthropology, psychology-ish type of observations as well. So, one. I'm trying to start with the basics, but you know, the obvious one. But I have a feeling that some people don't know this happens to fursuiters. Everybody smiles. It's rare to find somebody who doesn't smile. I mean, I got a kick out of that watching that one guy at a bar in Petaluma when us fursuiters went in. He looked so grumpy. And as we continued to do our things and the guys talking and all that, this guy got a little less grumpy and then at one point he started smiling. We made his day. He was in there with a grumpy look out and he was happy. It took a while, but it did happen. I mean, it would probably bring a smile to even the grumpiest person on the planet, you'd think, but it's not because we intentionally were entertaining that person. It's just being there. Everybody smiles. It's really fun to see that. It's a pity that our limited vision only goes that way, and there's people smiling over there, back there, all over the place. I have difficulty seeing in cars, so I'm not sure how many cars driving by have smiles on their faces. I've noticed a couple that seem to be ignoring me because when you're driving, you're not supposed to be watching the people on the side of the road, you're supposed to be watching where you're going. So, now, one fascinating thing is, and out in the daylight, which is why I prefer to fursuit at night. I go for a walk because of more exercise and stuff like that. But during the daylight, every once in a while a car honks. The heck and horn. I don't have a sign that says honk for liberty or something like that. You know, it's just, and they go beep beep. You know. It's so funny, every once in a while it's beep beep, you know, hi, how you doing, you know. Because I can't hear it, I do look to see if somebody's rolling down their window and saying something, but generally I don't hear it, but sometimes, you know, I might say thank you or something like that. And so, you know, waving and, I'm just a guy in an outfit made out of fur, you know. But that's one of the neat things for us. Now, I don't want to overly encourage anybody to go fursuiting. There's a downside. Never mind you have to have a handler. It's not required, but it's almost is, it seems like, because they're needed for a lot of things. So, you know, of course, with all this fun comes the problem of you get overheated, tired very easily. I hear these young'uns out there have heart attacks of some sort. You know, I'm 52 years old, fat. I'm the guy who's supposed to be having heart attacks, and I don't have any heart problems at all. We've been checking. These 18-year-olds are having heart attacks in their fursuits? Good Lord. But they don't know their limits. I know my limits, and I'm almost a hypochondriac. I keep thinking, ooh, my head feels a little off, and so I got to take it easy or whatever like that. And jeez. I was probably 2 hours away from having a problem when I have a little headache. So being oversensitive, so that's kept me safe. That's why the handler's not that critical. But still, there are the hazards, but it's still fun. I mean, honking a horn, smiling. Then the compliments, people saying, "I love your fursuit." You know, compare this side by side to many of those fursuits out there, and I still swear it looks awful by comparison. But theirs were $3,000, $1,500. This one was about, what was it, like $300 worth of materials, because I didn't have the money to have a commission done. It would have looked better, but so what? I couldn't even really afford the fur at first, you know. So I'm trying to improve, but Federation Fox was made with some stuff that was on sale. It was made on a whim. It was not really intended to be a good fursuit. The next one will be. I'll try to make that one professional, so that when I go out, it could be more fun. Now, so the next one's going to be a dog, so it'll probably be closer to a dog bomb experiences. And it's because his fursuit is of a German Shepherd, a dog that he formerly owned that had passed away. So he made it in honor of his dog, and that was a neat idea. That was a perfect idea. Yeah, people, you know, will cuddle up to a dog a little more than they would to a lion or a weird-looking fox or the Wampus from Star Wars. You know, we have a Wampus guy in Sacramento, sorry guys, Sacramento, and so forth. You know, they're not going to too much to them. For the dog, yeah, you get a little more attention, but still. I used to be jealous of him. One of the other things that happens is, actually, I got to stay with the car. I'm sorry, I got to stay with the car. So they're honking and waving and smiling and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes, like happened here once, a vehicle drives by. The guy had 2 kids with him. Pulls over, parks, gets out and says, "Can I take a picture of you with my kids?" That was so cool. That happens a lot. Everybody wants to take a lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people want to take the picture with us. Why? Yeah, we're cute, we're kind of neat looking and all that. We're fun to be with, and so people will be wanting to take their pictures with you. That's cool. That really makes me feel so much better. So now, you know, so you encounter situations where either they get out of the car or do that, hopefully not too often, or you're bowling, they want to do that. Now, I don't mind at all, but it does delay the bowling for the other guys. But it's still fun. So, you know, we got smiles and compliments and head turning, the obvious one because it's so unusual. Sometimes we'll you know, go up behind somebody every once in a while. They'll walk up. I don't know what the circumstance was exactly, because it's really, people say no, it's going to give them a heart attack or something like that. It's really not that much of a risk. People get surprised all the time. This guy goes up and a woman says, "Get away!" You know, something like a real loud. He just he nearly had a heart attack running away from it. So you know, maybe somebody's intimidated by us, but not very often. You know, 6 foot tall Doberman Pinscher, you know, I guess it's supposed to be intimidating, but actually everybody gets the giggles out of it. So Dog Bomb and I, as I noticed, I mean, we weren't together. He's Southern California, I'm Northern California. I used to be jealous, really jealous of him. Part of it turned out because he had one of the best fursuit makers make his fursuits, so that was part of it. The best of the best of the best kind of a situation. You can't compare to him. The other happened to me the same as it did for him. This beautiful, beautiful babe comes up to him, wants her picture taken with him, and they chat and have a great time. And if those of you on Fur Affinity want to know what I'm talking about, it's the picture with him and a girl who was saying you can't judge a book by its cover because she was quite intelligent, going for a master's degree or something like that, astrophysics. So same thing happened to me. I mean, wow, I mean, talk about a chick magnet. So it's actually possible, but we kind of, we kind of attract people. So that's why I get so anxious about going fursuiting anywhere. If people are wanting to ask questions, say compliments, and so forth. Now, the picture with me thing, I pretty much can gather that they're wanting that because out comes the camera. And so, okay, they instruct their friends or whoever themselves get in position with me, and so I know what to do at that point. But also, ask a few persons have asked if I heard them correctly. What do you do? What's this all about? So you give us a little explanation. I'm a furry. This is a fursuit. It's just for recreational purposes. Blah blah blah. I got to rehearse that, get it a little better. And oh, that was so cool. Okay, we're back on the vehicles today. I was suiting up and was in Federation Fox. This guy over here. He's off camera. And along comes a fire truck on the street, just doing their usual rounds, and they honk, and they're waving hi and saying some neat things. And I was, oh, that was so cool. I should have probably run up to them and say hi guys or whatever, but they were in the street, and this is always in my head. No, I don't want to cause them to stay and hold up traffic. They should get moving along. Hello, it's a fire truck. They can hold up traffic all they got on the roll, please, as part of the job. But yeah, there was no reason for it, but still, maybe if I had thought of saying something, oh, can I meet you over there? I'd love to chat with you guys. Now, walking's a little difficult, so I don't know. It just didn't occur to me. That's an idea about what to do. All sorts of neat things. So, oh, that was weird. Now, on a similar vein, railroad engineers, locomotive engineers, have something similar. And people always wave hi. You're at the crossing guard and you're waving hi at the locomotive engineer. Do you wave at the cement mixer guy, at the construction site? Do you wave at the delivery truck driver, except when you want him to get his attention and get him to pick up something? No. But you wave at the engineer. You wave at the ferry. So there's always this waving. Yeah, and so forth. Ah, it's such fun. So let's see, chick magnet and all that sort of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Then we move on to a rather short subject. No, I'm not talking about Mamie. He's in the bedroom. I have a plushie. It's, by coincidence, looks a lot like me. So, it's cute. I call him Mini-Me, aka Excelsior Jr. Is the children. Unfortunately, I've only had 2 children encounters, but 3, I forgot the 3rd one. Every encounter is almost a new one, too. Every time something comes along. I mean, that was the first time I caught the attention of a fire truck. And not because I was having a heart attack or anything like that. A tour at the picnic. And, you get to do there's some instructions, high fives and hugs and whatever. Let the kid initiate it and stuff like that. And so there's all that interaction. Some friends of mine, because they have normal hearing, have all sorts of fun interacting with the children and playing with them. Because that's what we are, is we're almost kind of childlike ourselves, and playing and having fun. We're just not serious. Well, let me do this right. We're not exactly W.C. Fields going, get away, you bother me, kid. I don't want to do anything with you, kid, Okay, that's not his voice, but it's close enough. It's not like I have a red nose. So, we're playing with them, and it's really neat. So oftentimes kids will come up to us, and sometimes they'll just continue to be with us. Some videos will show, so wonderful. The kid is playing with us, being with us, hanging on because essentially he's talking to a 5'10" plushie. I mean, able to play and all that sort of stuff and hugging and all that neat stuff. It's so cool. And that's a neat thing to hear about, how we bring their favorite stuff to our lives, so to speak. And that's been my daydream most of my life. Is I always keep wishing there was some way, before I knew anything about fursuits, or even had the idea of making my own things, that I wish I could afford to get one of those giant-sized stuffed animals, whatever it may be, is big enough I could be in it, and then I would fix it up and be a walking, talking plushie. And not imagining going out with people who's just wanting to be in such a thing. And now, well, here I am now. I had no idea. You make it yourself, or you hire a fursuit maker to make it for you. And so now I have my plushies too. Now, me, fursuit plushie fursuits. Although it's not intentionally plushie style. There's a million different styles, and constantly seeing a new design from the further confusion from the videos and pictures from fursuit designs. It's just incredible. I mean, not the basics of different animal or even just different color. I mean just really inventive designs and imaginative. So that helps to be the center of attention, where you attract people because we stand out in a crowd. And guy I know, for example, was in a concert like in San Francisco or something like that, and I'm jealous of him because, as far as I know, he goes solo fursuiting, but because he has normal hearing, he has no problems. As far as I know, I have to ask him when I finally get a chance to meet him. And he got invited up on stage with some group, You have a sea of people. And yeah, a lot of them were wanting to get attention of the guys on stage. So there's this guy in a fursuit towards the back, somewhere about, back in the crowd. They invite him up, All those other people, no, they invite him up. But I bet you the rest of the crowd, instead of being jealous or angry, was happy, because here's this neat fursuit. And so he got on stage and did some jokes, and they had a great time. And so we're a center of attention. So, little kids will come by, and they'll say some of the darndest things to this regarding this fursuit. The kid said, "You must be a real lion, you don't have a zipper." No, it's the previous one. This one, maybe the zipper is a little more noticeable, but yeah, still not a big blatant silver thing, But and I have it up front, so it's easier to do. And sometimes the kids would just be over there staring, at the bowling thing. There was one kid that came up, and I saw him, but he was just standing there staring. I didn't want to initiate anything. He wasn't staring at me necessarily, but at the group, and then went on about his way. So let's see, children. What else happens with children? Sometimes we might get mobbed, and never mind the tail tugs. Adults or children alike will tug your tail. So research going on right. It's just so much. It's an infinite number of things that we encounter. And it's not the thing about fursuiting where you take a mundane event, like a walk down the street, and turn it into the most exciting thing in your life practically. Especially if you have a video camera to take a picture of it. That's really neat. But it's the other ways that while we're doing that, people are noticing us. So they'll come up, want to take a picture, smile, laugh, compliments, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Let's see. And one of the firsts was I was at a park away from the kiddie playground doing some videos, and a parent comes up with the kid. Now sometimes a parent will push the kid on you, the kid's screaming, gets scared half to death. But I think maybe people don't realize, maybe they did go ahead and do it, that, yeah, the parents shouldn't be pushing the kid, but the parents trying to get the kid over its fears. A little early in life, I would bet. So here's this kid screaming. So I get down with you a little, I'm sorry, you know, that cute little thing. It'll help the kid calm down a bit. So here's the parent, you know, what's this all about, blah, blah, blah. And let's see, what else? I mean, a lot of things. It's a long list. People laughing for a variety of reasons. We go into a store. I almost forgot one. Ah, crap. I may be out of tape time. Hopefully I got a couple of minutes. Cheerleaders. So I got two cheerleaders on each side of you. There's that beautiful chick magnet thing again. And they're there, and you go like this, hi. And they go, ah! And he's running and screaming. That's so funny. So, it just goes on and on and on. There's so much fun to have. There's so many things that happen to you. The final one is you have to expect this. It's sort of a downside, but nah, it's almost normal. At the same park as that little kid and all that other stuff going on, apparently a parent thought that this was suspicious behavior and called the cops. So they did their usual thing. They came over, talked with me, checked my ID, all that sort of stuff. And the cop knew about us so it was easy, very straightforward, very simple. It does happen because the cops are looking, and this is unusual activity, so they have to keep an eye out for unusual activity. Unfortunately, in turn, they miss the guy that's in a three-piece suit, walks down the street, goes into the jewelry store, robs them blind at gunpoint. Yeah, I know that doesn't happen often enough, but it still happens. So we're suspicious, but the guy that actually does the robbery isn't. That's life. So, this is Excelsior. I hope the tape didn't memory didn't run out on the camera. And I'll probably just skim the surface of what happens when you go fursuiting. Basically, you have fun. Simple as that. Good night, folks.